savers who called Goldco the #1 rated gold.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And I look at it as Michelle Obama. Why run now and dip your toe in there? Because there's really no point until 2028. Why not mount your campaign starting now and get ready for it and make a real run? I mean, that would be my suggestion if I was giving advice. But, what do I know?
Well, all I know is, in the aftermath of the attempted assassination of Trump, all of a sudden the DNC is thinking, well, we got to one up and get the momentum back on our side because the Republicans have the momentum on their side. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch this the next few months, but
it'll be interesting, isn't it?
And who's the winner? Well, for one thing, every radio talk show that deals in politics. We don't have a thing to talk about. Nobody'll come onto their show and think, I have no idea what to talk about today. Oh, there's going to be plenty.
It's going to be a lot going on, yeah. A lot of speculation. Man. All the pundits are going to be out there. And, we'll see who comes out.
Every armchair quarterback know-it-all.
Yep, pretty much.
Which means everybody in talk radio, for example. And
I can tell you this. One thing I do know is that Kamala Harris is absolutely probably the most anti-gun politician that we've probably...
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you don't have a Kamala Harris sticker unless it's a slash through it sticker on your vehicle.
Yeah, maybe I need to make a shirt that way. There we go.
Well,
I know she's going to be more rabid than probably any political candidate that we have seen run for president when it comes to Second Amendment. She's not a fan. I mean, she's even made a comment. Like I said, we're going to go down rabbit holes. I heard you say that before we come on. But she basically was out there talking how she wants a mandatory gun buyback for every gun in the United States. She said it many times when she was in California. She said it when she was a senator. And I'm sure her view has not changed on that. I don't know how the government can buy back something though they've never owned, but that's always
because when you're that far to the left, the government does own it. If it wants to own it, it just says we own it, and there we go.
They think they own everything and anything we do, including our income, our personal private property. I mean, you just go down the list, it's all theirs as far as they're concerned for a lot of them, at least for a big camp in one side or the other.
I did tell you about the signs in Toronto at the wrestling event, didn't I?
What was that?
The signs in the crowd in Toronto at the pro wrestling event. We have FJB down here. Apparently up there, because I saw the signs, FJT.
Oh, really? So Trudeau, that's funny.
That's all the signs say. I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Okay, I don't know if everybody watching got it or not, but like, oh my God,
I got it right away.
I'm good. There's some conservatives in Canada after all, which we kind of knew anyway. They're
there. They're there.
Yeah. You got to go. I'd say probably 100 miles west of Fort Francis, and then go westward from there. By the time you get to Thunder Bay and eastward, they're just far gone to the left. Clay from Guns of the 701 on with me, 822 at K-Fire. Ed Mitchell here. Pronghorn season is set.
It is finally. I know everyone has been waiting to hear about it. We haven't had one in my unit down here at 6A for, 2-3 years. And rightfully so. There were no antelope really around, a few, but they've come back. Yeah. 1,265 licenses available. I do like what they did with this, and I know that I'm going to get hate mail over this one. It's a one-tag system, and you may get your tag, and you can hunt either in the bow season or you can hunt in the rifle season. You choose. It's up to you. And I'm very glad to see that. That's what I've been wanting for some time, to solve the issue with deer license applications. There's so many, and there's just not enough licenses as well. One tag per person. But anyway, so that's about 420 licenses more than it's been in the last few years, which only half the units were open about then. The survey showed that they had more fawn ratios to does, 50 fawns to 100 does. Buck to doe ratios, 31 to 100. The bow-only part of this opens up August 30th at noon Central and runs till September 22nd. At October 4th, then, that's when the firearm season opens up, of course, at noon Central, and then runs till October 20th. So that's going to be the season dates. Only North Dakota residents, so no non-resident tags, which is probably right. Just looking at my own place here, we've got antelope. We've got a few on there. And I thought, great, maybe they'll open it up. They did. And, of course, me and my boys, we all can get a gratis tag as landowners. So we're doing that and looking forward to a great hunt. Season deadline applications is August 7th. It's $30 for a tag if you're applying in the regular, and then $10 for those under 16. So if you got those kids out there, they want to hunt antelope, maybe their first time, maybe they've done it a few times and just haven't had the opportunity. Like $10, I mean, why not, right?
Clay from Guns of the 701 here at K-Fire 825. My jaw's kind of half on the ground at your next story because I didn't realize the whole trans thing goes beyond humans to fish.
Oh.
What's going on here?
Yeah. I just kind of ran across this by chance. I was like, what is going on? Yeah, Wyoming Game and Fish. I mean, talk about screw up nature. I got real issues with what they're trying here. They've always had this policy where they want the cutthroat trout because it's the native trout to Wyoming and blah, blah, blah. Well, brook trout were introduced in the 60s in a lot of places. So they've been around a while. They populate fast. They're good eating. They're fun to catch. Well, they took their assault calling on brook trout to the next level, and they're going to go with a genetically altered brook trout, which they're calling the Trojan fish. And essentially what it's going to do is they're going to release these into the reservoirs and creeks, and when they reproduce with other brook trout, they're only going to produce a male trout. And the idea of this in 5 to 7 years, maybe longer, is that they'll all become male. They're going to turn all the fish male in these areas, and then they're going to die out. And therefore, then the cutthroats can, I guess, survive easier. It's like, that just sounds so wrong.
Well, just seeing a headline about turning fish all male, just wait, what's the world coming to that's a thing now? But all right.
Yeah, I guess it was developed in Idaho. Sounds like New Mexico and Washington State have used it, and then what they've done is these fish are going to have 2 Y chromosomes rather than an X and a Y, which in theory is supposed to make them just produce a male offspring. But I don't like this idea. I don't know if there's enough research. I was kind of online looking to see what I could find. There's some out there, but there's no long-term studies to show what the effect of this could be long-term, and if it even works. It's kind of new, and they're jumping into this. I guarantee you, if we tried something like that personally and privately, Game and Fish would not be happy about it. But here they go, off and running with it.
Well, if we tried it one step further, I'm afraid human women might get some ideas.
Some ideas. Yeah.
They're doing it with fish. Why can't they do it with people? They probably
feminists, they wouldn't want all males around. They don't like us. It'd be a long time before we died out.
You want an increase in gun sales? Start getting that technology out there.
There we go. There we go.
Every girl with a gun. We said we'd do it, and we're doing it. 828. It's Clay from Guns of the 701. I'm Todd Mitchell. More is coming up. Hang on. Now Clay's going to read at that speed from Guns in the 701.
Yeah.
841 in K-Fire.
Should have been looking at the live stream for entertainment purposes. While we were waiting there, I was showing how those pirates got exploded, but then they're trying to attack a boat. That was awesome. These guys open up on them, and then no more pirates.
There you go. Guns of the 701. Clay's on with me here, FBI director with the dumbest thing yet. Oh, why is there a contest? And speaking of which, was the Trump assassination attempt sounds like the dumbest Secret Service moment ever?
Boy, that was a big fail. Huge fail.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
there was no reason for that.
It's like if you got
None.
Everybody, every just pedestrian grabbing their phone, looking up at a guy on a roof. Seems like the Secret Service guy should have seen him first, but just me.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, I've been to Trump rallies, and I can tell you, even on an indoor event, they have a perimeter way bigger than they had down there in Pennsylvania in Rapid City when I was down there. And snipers everywhere. And that's the ones you could see. Who knows where the other ones were?
Yeah, I was going to say.
This was a huge fail.
The whole point of them is we're not supposed to know exactly where they are. It's kind of the point. Otherwise, somebody take them out.
It's just the ones we saw was to say, hey, we're here. And who knows how many were really out there. I can put it to you this way. I wouldn't want to take any chances. But I guess if you're in Pennsylvania, why not? That's the way it looks. I don't know. Yeah. The guy got up, this Christopher Wray, he's the FBI director. He got up in front of the House Judiciary Committee because that's, they want to get to the bottom of this, as they should. July 13th was a historic moment and a horrible moment in our history, trying to assassinate a former president. And let's not forget, he was shot. Well, when they tried to shoot him, he was shot, and they failed at their assassination attempt, thank goodness. And by God's grace, Trump is still here. But this guy, and he's an anti-gunner. Christopher Wray is no friend of the Second Amendment. But when he was testifying, he said the FBI did not know whether the would-be assassin took the gun with him when he climbed up on the roof or whether the AR-15 was stashed up there. But then he said, and I quote, the gun's collapsible stock may have made that rifle harder to see. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, really? So you're going to blame, and this leads to the assault weapons ban that we had in the 90s and the one that's been reintroduced several times, which in that particular bill, and when it was law, included collapsible stocks. Couldn't have them on your gun. They were illegal, and they'd like to do that again. And, I mean, I can see what they're going to do. They're going to try to tie this in. I bet money on it when they try to bring this forth in either the House or the Senate at some point again and say, see, collapsible stocks, they're a threat too because you'll be able to easier conceal that gun. And as we saw in Pennsylvania, no one even seen this guy walking around. And I can say that. I've heard nobody say that they saw him walking around, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't there somewhere already. He had it slinged over his shoulder. It wasn't concealed, and he just climbed up on that roof. I look at that and I go, really? A collapsible stock? I have a collapsible stock on several of my ARs. Trust me, you're going to still see the AR. You're not going to conceal it any easier. I couldn't believe it when I heard him say it.
Meanwhile, you're going to see more guns at Trump rallies.
What's that?
You're going to see more guns at Trump rallies from here on out.
Well, I hope that the people that are supposed to protect the president, I hope the heck they do. And this isn't a Republican or Democrat thing. I don't want to see anybody who's speaking even have a pop shot taken at. That's horrible.
Right.
And, I guess it goes the old saying, an armed populace is a polite populace. And I don't know how you take it. When you go into one of them things, I mean, you got to unload everything in your pockets. You can't take nothing in with you. I mean, you got to lay had a money clip. I had to throw that in there. You can't take a pocket knife. I mean, you go in with the bare minimum. And maybe we should be armed. Those of us but I don't know what to say on that. I can tell you this, though. Those people that saw him, if that had happened probably around here outside of what they call the perimeter, I think a group of us would have climbed up on that roof and, let's just say, wouldn't have been a polite conversation with that gentleman.
Well, that's just it. That's just it. In any other setting, a normal setting, you see a guy up with that kind of weaponry on a roof, pointing at whatever the heck he's pointing at, you're going to at least be ready.
Former president, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, I mean, even if it's just another normal day in the hood, right? You would not let that guy go unchecked. You would at least get yours out, point and go, yo, or hey, or something, right?
Right. I mean, if you're outside of that protected perimeter, you're pretty safe to say that you can probably have your defense firearm on you at that point. I don't know. And that's the way it looked. The people that were pointing him out, they said that was outside the perimeter. Some say it was a soft perimeter. I don't know. I mean, we just looked at the RNC thing here in Wisconsin, and they did not allow guns, of course, in the perimeter. But the mayor or an alderman in Milwaukee, along with the governor of Wisconsin, they wanted all guns taken away, even outside of that perimeter, that protective perimeter at the RNC. And basically, the RNC and the Secret Service said no, they have a constitutional right to have them, and good for them. So it isn't that you can't be in the area. And if you're outside that perimeter and you see a guy out there with a rifle on a roof outside that perimeter or even in it, I guess go outside, get your defense firearm, and take care of business if you need to. But you need to stop these people. That is the epitome of banana republic stuff. When we start shooting our adversaries in politics just because you don't like them, yeah, we can't have that.
Well,
we just can't have it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like Kamala Harris, but I don't.
Right, I would never advocate shooting her or Joe Biden or Hillary or any whatever. But
just beat them with your brain power. It won't be hard.
That's just it. The best way to prove that their ideas don't work is to vote them into office and screw up the country. But they're
yeah.
There you go.
We've proven that, haven't we?
Did I say that out loud? Wow, I shouldn't listen to that part of my brain, I guess. 848
You've been around us too much.
K-Fire Guns in the 701. Clay's on with me here. Report demonstrates critical importance of #GunVote to safeguard hunting and shooting traditions. Oh, we're trying to shoot down traditions now, huh? What the heck?
Well, that might be a good one, I guess, to safeguard them. The National Shooting Sports Foundation, and actually NRA's on board with this, and I think Hunter Nation got on board with this. Basically, we found that there's a gap in voter turnout and registration with hunters and shooters. And I saw this working with the NRA that you'd say, oh, yes, rah, 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 I'm for the Second Amendment. Did you vote? Well, no. Well, then you're part of the problem. You don't say it that way. But you're just like, well, why not? Well, it don't really matter. So we do have this problem in our own voting segment. And they kind of figured it out even back then that 1% to 2%. And I see that's what they referenced in this particular article. But I can remember when I was working there. If we could just get 1% to 2% of those hunters and shooters to get registered in the states they have to register or show up on the day of elections, we win every time. And that's how close these elections have been in the last 4 cycles probably. It doesn't take a lot. You think about 1% to 2% of the basically 22.3 million new first-time gun owners. Can you imagine if they just voted? And they don't. They just don't. And even in those swing states, they've run some numbers for this one. They got about 515,000 in Pennsylvania and 370,000 in Michigan and North Carolina. I mean, that's a lot. You think about it, that's a lot of voters when a lot of these votes come down in particular states or districts in, thousands. So if they can get out there and they can get these people motivated, get them to the polls. And I noticed they got a website out there that basically has that hashtag gun vote, or you can go to Vote for America. Go ahead and search that out on Brave. It'll come right up for you. We don't use the alphabet one because they're commie. You don't want to use them. Use Brave. And then you get out there, get out on there, find the website, find out how to get up there and vote, find out how to register, and find your polling places. This is important, and we need to energize our own people first. We got to get them out to vote. And that's why I kind of like this article and kind of picked it today, because I knew this was an issue. And if they do it, get out and vote. Don't just talk about it. Make actions and go vote.
That's just it. I'm all in favor of screaming on the radio. Well, not screaming, but whining on the whatever. I don't like whining either. But you get my point. It's all the talk on the radio, while it helps us create content, doesn't actually. If you don't follow through, you're not moving the needle. You got to follow.
If you're not motivated to take action, then we failed. And we need to get out there, do your duty, exercise your right. That's another right to vote. Get out there and do it, and vote for the pro-conservative, pro-Second Amendment, pro-everything that's constitutional. That's the guy you want. That's the people you want in office. So get out there and get her done.
Guns in the 701, the new stuff on Wednesdays yet?
Yep, Wednesday. In fact, I'll be uploading this right after the show, along with Jamie's segment last night. If you missed it, guys, get on there and look at 701 Nation last night. Had Wayne Muth on. It was a great segment. I didn't get to watch it live, but reviewed it this morning. So both of them will be hitting iHeart. That's the best place to get your podcast and download it. And, of course, it'll be on the website, gunsinthe701.com, and every place else we are.
All right. Clay, you have a great weekend.
You too, Todd. Appreciate it.
Take care.
We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Guns in the 701, about 8:15 or so on Fridays here on K-Fire.
Happy